All right, good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Happy Mother's Day weekend. We had a beautiful day with clear skies and beautiful weather. Saturday, we had a couple of spotty showers around, but today was just gorgeous. One or two clouds in the area, but otherwise clear to wrap up the weekend. And temperatures right now are pretty warm. I mean, they're pretty comfortable, if anything. We hit the mid 80s today in San Antonio, and even some warmer temperatures like down by 35 towards Cotulla, Carrizo Springs with the lower 90s. But overall, very comfortable weather right now. Feel free to comment down below and join the conversation. We're going to do weather for the next 15 to 20 minutes here on Kent's 5. Right now, though, clear, but we'll call it partly cloudy just because of those high altitude cirrus clouds around, but otherwise clear. Northeast winds very comfortable, 10 to 15. Big number the last couple of days has been the dew point, so the humidity has just been down. It's felt awesome outside. Really comfortable air across the region. I hope you enjoyed it because tomorrow and especially Tuesday and Wednesday, things are going to change rapidly. We're going to see humidity roll back in and then temperatures climb so fast. To put into perspective, so today we had 85. That's actually pretty normal. It's right on the money. Average is about 86 this time of year. Excuse me. But tomorrow, expect lower 90s, so a little warmer than average. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're expecting above 100 degrees. So we're entering soon, pretty much by tomorrow, a multi-day heat wave. And this will be one of the earliest stretches of heat waves we've ever seen in San Antonio history. I'm going to go back and look at the numbers on, any of the earliest heat waves in history. But just to put into perspective again, it's really until mid to late June where we start seeing more consecutive days of like 100-degree heat days. So to see this in May, it's kind of abnormal, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Cool conditions, clear skies for the Aquarids meteor shower. Make sure you look up into the sky. Mainly, I would say after midnight through the pre-dawn hours. The best time to see these meteor showers is like, 3, 4 a.m. pre-dawn, right before sunrise. And what's great is the humidity's down, the air is clear. There's just a lot of clarity in the atmosphere right now. And it's just so dry and just maybe a couple of high clouds around, but this will make for a perfect setup and stage for this meteor shower overnight. There's an opportunity in window to see about 40 to 50 meteors per hour. This meteor shower peaked about maybe a week ago, but the good news is this shower will be visible through May 27th, so pretty much all month long. Just look towards the constellation Aquarius in the eastern, southeastern sky, and you'll be able to see this in the early morning sky. It's going to be looking great out there tomorrow morning. Okay, back to the heat, back to the weather story. Triple-digit heat is expected later on this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is why we have alerts set, which you'll see in a second. The average first 100-degree day in San Antonio history, like in the numbers from like the early 1900s to now, when you take the first 100-degree day on each one of those years and you average them out, typically it's like late June we start to see 100-degree day, our first triple-digit day. Now there are some years where that's earlier than normal and later than normal. As a matter of fact, if you look at the latest ever first 100-degree day, it was back in 2021, not too long ago, on September 6th. So while average is like mid to late June, there have been some years where we've seen it as late as like early September. But this is different. This is a different setup. This upcoming week, again, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're expecting 100 or hotter. So get ready for that. At the very bottom, if you see right here, right below the earliest and latest, is the rank year and the amount of triple-digit days counted in one summer or 1 year. Back in 2023, that is the all-time record. In that year, and primarily during the summertime, between like May and September, we hit 100 degrees or hotter 75 total times. That is the all-time record. That was a crazy year. Back in 2009, 59 total times, and then 2022, 58 total times. So it just shows you what kind of numbers we're looking at, especially if we're hitting, 100 degrees later on this week. The fact that we're hitting it so early makes you wonder how long summer is going to be with more heat on the way for June, July, and August. Outside right now, sunset looks beautiful over Calaveras Lake. You can see that nice glow in the atmosphere, the orange and reddish colors. Beautiful look at San Antonio International. Gorgeous skies. If you are heading out to the airport anytime soon, or next couple days, and matter of fact, all this week it's fine. It's just clear weather, just on the warm side. Get ready for that. Right now, 68 at Bernie, 72 at Bandera, near 80 at Lavernia, 79 at Stockdale, 78 in New Braunfels, 81 in Timberwood Park. Very comfortable air, and again, the humidity is low, so it feels great. It feels phenomenal outside. Now, because of drier air, temperatures like to warm up faster, and that's why we saw lower 90s out west today between Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, Pearsall. They're at 87 right now, 75 at Pleasanton, and 80 at George West. Good evening to everyone out there this evening. Winds have calmed down. We were seeing winds in the double digits earlier today, like 15, 20 miles an hour. Now they're at 5 to 10, so a light wind. Here's what you can expect overnight. Let's just do this real quickly. Let's just do that. So basically, this is what happens overnight. By midnight, maybe mid 60s or so. By tomorrow morning, as you wake up, if you're getting back to work, back to school, anything you got going on tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little chilly. I'm hard pressed to say that's cold, but 55 degrees to me is chilly. Anything below like 58, 59, it at least requires and warrants a light jacket. The hill country probably going to bottom out in the lower 50s, upper 40s tomorrow morning. A little bit of below average, but we'll take it. But yeah, so a little chilly tomorrow morning, maybe a sweater, maybe a hoodie tomorrow morning. And then after about, let's say at 9 a.m., we'll be right around the lower 70s. Sunny skies, 1 or 2 clouds overhead. Overall, beautiful weather expected for your Monday. Now, the setup, by the way, yesterday we saw a couple of spotty showers around the lunch hour. It's all because of this low that's moving across the southeastern United States. By the way, this low is so slow. I mean, this is what we call like a blocking pattern. And whenever you get these kind of patterns in place, these large weather systems don't move all that much. And if it's a weather system that produces rainfall, that means you can get a lot of rain on the eastern side of these lows. So what's happening is you're getting a lot of moisture swinging onshore from the Gulf, from the south and southeast, and there's just these large lines of showers and storms moving into Florida, towards Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, all the way towards the Carolinas. So through about Tuesday and Wednesday, they'll be dealing with this same monotonous, repetitive setup of this same area of low pressure that's just going to continue to pour in and crank in moisture, rain and showers for the southeastern United States. So that's what they're dealing with east of Texas. And I mentioned that because that's what brought us a couple of showers on Saturday. But now it's moving away from us. We don't have to deal with that anymore. Overall, pattern's pretty quiet, and that's how things stay. But with quiet weather comes a lot of sunshine, and with high means dry, and that means no rain and more heat. So notice through this time next weekend, we'll watch this ridge of high pressure move back and forth. But basically what this means is sinking air, and when the air sinks, it warms and it dries up, and then it heats up. So temperatures are expected, at least through Wednesday and Thursday, going to be near record territory. There's a good chance, depending on if this ridge is farther north or a little bit farther south, if it's farther north towards San Antonio, that'll mean more record challenging heat next weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and probably even to early the week after that. So we're watching a lot. We're watching a lot of uncertainty in the forecast, but nothing regarding rain. Here's a look at what temperatures could look like by Tuesday afternoon. Anywhere from like 104 guys to 110. From San Antonio to Uvalde to Del Rio to Eagle Pass. This is all possible later this week. So tomorrow, mid-90s, going to be warm, sunny, same thing. Tuesday, humidity pours back in from the south and southeast, and when you add in air temperature at like 103, 104, heat index will be probably like at 110. It is going to be dangerously hot. So if you know any friends or family, anybody you know, that's going to be spending a long amount of time outdoors Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, obviously it's a weekday, heads up for our construction workers, right, all around San Antonio. Air temperature is well above 100, humidity is up, a light breeze is not going to help all that much. But this is going to mean dangerous heat. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke are all things we'll be watching out for later this week because of this dangerous heat wave that is early on schedule. Again, mid to late June is when we typically see our first 100-degree day. Instead, we're seeing it in mid-May, so like a month ahead of schedule. and it's going to be extremely hot, so get ready for some dangerous heat. And again, we'll zoom in anywhere from Hondo to Del Rio to Laredo to maybe parts of the Hill Country and towards Austin and San Antonio. Anywhere from 100 to 110 is fair game on the air temperature. That's not even accounting for the humidity. And it's just crazy how we're talking about this, because these are conversations we have in mid to late July and August when we're hitting the peak of summer season. But it's May, it's early to mid-May, and we're talking about temperatures above 100. And on top of that, breaking records Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and most likely, if we maintain this pattern, likely through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we are going to look at some very hot temperatures. So that was a forecast model. I think we're a couple of degrees below some of those crazy numbers. So we're forecasting highs in the lower to middle 90s tomorrow. We hit 86 today, 100 on Tuesday, which would make it the first 100-degree day of 2025. That would break a record set back in 2009. I'll zoom in on this so everyone can see it. Wednesday, we're forecasting a high of 103. And again, anything's fair game between 100 and 106 for San Antonio. Out west towards Eagle Pass and Del Rio, maybe up to 109, 110. So that's what's really dangerous in this kind of pattern. But notice the boxes at the very bottom. Those are indicating each day's record set back on a date. On those specific days on different years in the past. So for example, May 14th's record, daily record, was set back in 2022 of 97. We're forecasting 103. That's crazy. And similar records were set back in 2022 in May 15th and May 16th. So a lot is going on, and it's all about the heat, guys. So get ready. 100 on Tuesday, 103 Wednesday, and 99 to 100 on Thursday, which would all be days that break records in San Antonio. We shave off a few degrees maybe by the end of the week, but again, depending on the placement and the intensity of that ridge, of that area of high pressure, that could mean temperatures near 100 once again, and that's why we're keeping that in the outlook. So Friday, while it's 96, that could easily be changed up to 98 to 99 to maybe 100. Same thing for Saturday, May 18th, May 19th, and May 20th. I do think by the 20th, we'll see more cloud cover. We're going to watch a couple of different systems move through, and that may bring some slightly, I say slightly hesitantly because it's not really cooler, but slightly cooler air, lower 90s Tuesday and Wednesday. That same weather system may bring like one or two showers, which is why we're putting in like that 20%. But man, I mean, the next 2 weeks as we round out May, it's going to be hot. Some days more than others, but man, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and likely, possibly, in a Friday and Saturday, we'll be breaking, shattering records across not just San Antonio, but South and South Central Texas. Get ready for that, guys, and across the Rio Grande especially. Be sure to download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store. We'll have daily updates from our Mets here at KENS 5 on any of the new numbers of the computer models that come in. Every day, we have new high-resolution forecast guidance, and what that does, it just provides a more accurate depiction on what you can expect in the afternoons, in the evenings. So while bottom line it's going to be hot, I mean, a few degrees may change here and there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just depending on what kind of updates we get from our high-res computer models, on the long-range computer models. Obviously, it's going to just be hot, but just download the KENS 5 app. We'll have notifications and alerts set for you to be notified on any changes that come to the forecast. So we'll have those on the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store, guys. Download it today, the KENS 5 app. Otherwise, guys, get ready for this heat. Short sleeves, shorts, light, loose-fitted color clothing will be key next couple of days and probably the next couple of weeks. I mean, this heat is no joke, and get ready for triple-digit heat, abnormal heat, and an early season heat wave. Remember, it's still spring. Summer begins officially on June 20th, so this is a spring heat wave, and it means business. 100 Tuesday, 103 Wednesday, and 99 to 100 on Thursday, which is why we have weather impact alerts. Be safe out there, guys. Drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated. Check on your neighbors, on your friends, and on your family later this week, especially if they're spending a long amount of time outside. Anything past 30 to 45 minutes straight outdoors, it's going to be cause for concern for heat exhaustion, heat stroke. So please check on your friends, your family, your neighbors. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be the prime heating, but we could see that extend into Friday and later on, and this time next weekend. Be safe, guys, and have a wonderful night. Happy Mother's Day to everybody, all the moms out there, and have a great week and be safe and stay hydrated.